Oh, hey, we're back. So we got another beer, last beer of the night. This one's kind of special in a sense. Um, so if you've been sort of following the some craft beer stuff in Nova Scotia, if you've been drinking it for a while, you may remember Bad Apple Brew House, um, that ran out of Somerville. Is it Somerville, Somerton? It's right next to Berwick in the valley. They ran for a little while. They made some really good beers. The owner, Jeff Saunders, made some pretty damn good beers out of his barn, right on his property. He was making them. Um, got in the SLC with some of his beers. Lasted for a while. I heard there was some maybe sketchy things going on that led to some controversy, and then they eventually went out of business. I don't know the details, so I'm not going to talk about that like I have any sort of authoritative knowledge. All I know is they went out of business and they don't exist anymore as a brewery. Now, two of their beers still do exist, thanks to the Annapolis Brewing Company. I assume they bought the rights to the recipe or something along those lines, whatever deal they worked out with Jeff. Um, they brought back the box cutter, which was their American, was it American IPA or APA? One of those two, but a really really good beer. Annapolis Brewing Company did right by that beer by recreating it pretty much perfectly, and they still release it to this day. It's still in the NSLC. It's a really good beer. They have brought back another beer from Bad Apple, and this is so new it's not even listed on their website. They do list it on their Instagram, but it's not on their website yet. But this is the Mosaic Double IPA, 8% alcohol by volume. They're releasing it in these 568 milliliter cans, so you're getting a lot of IPA in a big old can, and basically water, barley, hops, yeast. I can't remember if there's any other hops in the actual grain bill, but there's definitely the majority is Mosaic hops. So, Mosaic hops can go a couple different ways. They can go like super tropical fruity. They can go more berry kind of flavored, depending on how you use them. I seem to recall this one was sort of more berryish. There was some tropical stuff, but it wasn't the kind of juicy New England IPA stuff that I'm not a real big fan of. And I've reviewed this twice. I reviewed the very first like bottlings of this back in the day, and then Bad Apple, when they were still around, managed to get this in cans in the NSLC for a little while before they disappeared. But now it's back. So big double IPA. Going to review it. Going to see if Annapolis Brewing is 2 for 2 with their resurrection of these Bad Apple brews. So pour the sucker right here. Ooh. So it's actually a very sharp, like copper color. You're getting like this tequila sunrise kind of color with the light coming through from my monitor and my fucking light up here. Yeah, looks great. Good head on it. Let's go with the aroma. Mm. This brings back memories. So I was saying this sort of got ahead of the trend of the New England Haysbro stuff back in the day when this was first made. The hop in here, like I said, Mosaic, you definitely see it pop up in a lot of hazies and New England styles, juice bombs, those sort of things. You see it, paired with like Galaxy and stuff like that, right? In this case, you are getting a little bit of a tropical, like, but I'd say more like on the tangerine kind of side of things. And there's a big grapefruit kind of note in this. It's like I believe this is supposed to be basically a Westie in style overall, regardless of what hops are being used here. Welcome back. Welcome back. Yeah, big grapefruit, a little bit of tangerine around the sides, kind of thing. A lot of malt coming up as too, which was something that was a feature of the original version of this beer back when Bad Apple made it. Still got the original label, basically, although the colors they're using here are different than what I believe the original. I think it was all blue back in the day, but I might have been wrong by that. I might be wrong by that, but that, yeah. So it smells good. It definitely smells like a strong hoppy beer. So you're looking for an IPA and something like that, like very inviting in that regard. Very simple, probably to some people, considering it's just basically just the Mosaic that's doing all the work here. Cheers. Oh yeah. That's excellent. This has basically everything right down to a T. So when the Mosaic actually starts working in the actual drink for the flavor, there is a bit more of a berry kind of taste coming up here, kind of a red berry sort of taste. Good bitterness at the end, enough to like justify it being a double IPA. Nice caramel maltiness underneath the whole thing, and that sort of grapefruit is coming up in the bitterness as well. Body is medium bodied. The 8% alcohol is pretty well masked, which should be a given these days. It's very rare these days where you see a beer where even if the alcohol's at like 10%, it's not well masked. It generally just is these days all the time with every fucking beer. Rarely do you get like a hot beer anymore. You have to start like really pushing like 12, 13, 12, 13% before you really start running into alcohol and shit these days. Dude, what's up with the NSLC prices being so high? LCBO beer stores shits on us. Yeah, I know. More of our taxes go into whatever the NSLC's got running with the government. They up their prices sometimes, like seems like twice a year sometimes. Incremental, but it's crazy. I can remember back in the day when I could buy a 12-pack of Alexander Keith's for like $11.25, something like that, like less than $1 a beer. But now, they'll keep pushing the prices up, and no one stops them because they're so powerful here in Nova Scotia. Um, I know the LCBO definitely generally has better prices, and yeah, but I think it's just I think it's a tax structure thing, in a lot of in a lot of respects too. Because if you take like a lot of the sort of tax out of our prices, they're definitely a lot closer to what the Ontario prices are. But yeah, you do pay out the ass for beer here in Nova Scotia. That's unfortunately a reality of this place. Hmm. This drinks really well. Like I said, it masks the alcohol pretty well. I wouldn't say it drinks smooth though. Like the bitterness there is pretty decent, pretty bracing. Um, it's enough to make you want to sip more than just constantly drink. It's a monopoly, just like Innis Power. Yeah, I'd say Innis Power are much more abusive, but because Innis Power, like, not only do they fuck up all the time, they make us pay for their fuck ups. Like, something needs to be done about them. They need to be taken down. Um, NSLC, there's ways you can work around it. There are the private liquor stores and stuff, and it seems like more private liquor stores and stuff are starting to pop up. So it won't be as I think in the future it won't be as worse a monopoly as it is right now. Hopefully anyway. But as far as prices going down in general, I don't know. I don't think we're ever going to see prices go down. Let's put it that way. 8% is good if it's masked. Yeah, that's the thing. This is a nice big bracing double IPA. Everything about this is double IPA, but it doesn't have any sort of like alcohol astringency really coming up in the end. It doesn't really have any alcohol sweetness or anything like that coming up in the end. It does not taste boozy at all. And like I was saying, you really got to like push it to like 12 to 13% these days with the quality of how beer is made by these craft breweries for the most part. You really got to push it to get booziness. And usually it's because it comes out of a barrel or something, like it's some sort of barrel age thing. Then you'll generally taste booze. But these days, yeah, no. This one definitely isn't a dangerous beer in the sense that like you can just drink it so fast that you don't know what's going on. That's always generally the concern, right? Like sometimes you can get beers that are like pushing 9%, 10% or whatever, and they drink like a 5% beer. This at least has the hop bite going on that will make you take pause and like stop from just like slugging it down like a lager or something. I'm impressed. I like this. Annapolis Brewing did it again, 2 for 2 with their resurrection of a Bad Apple legacy brand, basically the Mosaic. I gave this the last time I reviewed this. I reviewed the Bad Apple version out of the can years ago. I think I gave 8 5s to it, something like that, for style and for preference. I'm about still there. I think it was 8 5 and 8 is where I was sitting. I'm gonna go 8 5 for style because it does all the things a double IPA should do, and it does a little bit more. The way it uses Mosaic in a more traditional double IPA instead of like a juicy haze bomb or a New England style IPA. That's something I really value. Like it takes those flavors and goes in a different direction with it. So I think that's kind of special because you just see too many beers these days they're all like the haze stuff that's too juicy, too mild, no bitterness or whatever. This has a juiciness to it. It has some of the tropical flavors, but it still has like a good malty punch to it. It still has a good bitterness to it, and it's not, it doesn't taste like fucking Sunny D or some bullshit like that, right? It tastes like beer. My own personal preference, I think I'm going to go 8.5 as well. Double 8.5s, I think, on this one. Drinking Colt 45 at the moment. I was on LOA from leave of absence from my job for 3 months and clean. Went back yesterday, call center, and literally drove me to buy 4 Colts. Yeah, I could see how soul crushing that kind of job would be, man. That would do it. That would do it. You know, Colt 45 ain't bad. And I mean, I don't know if you've looked in to the NSLC, like really perused the shelves as of late. You got your Colt 45, yeah, you got your malt liquor there, but there's also like a couple other like just straight up like ice beer malt liquors that drink way smoother than Colt 45 that have sort of popped up in the NSLC. Well, I can say one of them drinks smoother than a Colt 45. The Molson 7.1, the Max Ice or whatever the fuck 7.1 that just sort of showed up. That drink's pretty smooth. I thought that was pretty decent for a malt liquor. And there's another one I've been interested in trying. I haven't gotten around to it yet. Is the Molson Dry, which is 10.1%, I believe. That one's in there as well. But yeah, there's Propeller has their Prime series of beers, which is their budget series, and they have their 10%. Their Prime 10. I don't know if it's in every NSLC. It seems to pop in and out intermittently, kind of thing. But that one is super smooth, and it's 10%. That's crazy hobo beer right there. Like that's the kind of shit that's going to be the stuff that, and I think everyone's NSLC has these people. They have, and then if like I can remember getting off work, driving to getting to the NSLC, waiting for it to open at like 10 in the morning. And there would be the usual regulars. There would be the 3 or 4 people who needed like a 10% beer right in the morning for breakfast to get the shakes away, kind of thing, get their day started. And they'd go in and they immediately buy like a Fax 10%. I can see the Prime 10 being the replacement because that one is super smooth, like no harshness at all, easy drinking, dangerously easy drinking. Love ice beer. Moosehead Dry Ice was good. Dab got an 8% beer now too. Oh yeah, I saw that. The Urbach. I had that. It's pretty good. Love the Prime beer. Okay, and it's actually a good price, and Prime 10 is considerably smooth. Yes. Hobo beer, yeah. It's what it is, man. It is what it is. I drink hobo beer too. It's fine. But yeah, double 8.5s for this. Really cool. Really cool that Annapolis Brewing brought this back, brought the box cutter back. Honestly, I hope they redo a couple more brands from Bad Apple. They're barrel aged. If they get barrels and bring back the barrel aged beer, the barrel aged stout, that Imperial Stout that Bad Apple had going for years, that would be great. I'd be on board for that. But as far as it stands with the Mosaic, very cool. Very cool that this is back. And I'll pick it up again for sure. Especially in these big cans. That's a lot of IPA right there. That's a good fucking solid IPA, double IPA. Yeah. All right, I'm going to get out of here. Everyone enjoy their night or day or whenever they're watching this. To Owner, have a good one. And I'll be back when I'm back. Bye bye.